Ooh. This is Little Red. Little Red is a short wheelbase mid-roof Ford Transit. This is Lisa's van. Lisa has been RVing in Class B vans for the last 15, 16 years. She's had 6 or 7 Pleasureway Class B vans. In fact, she was instrumental in some of the design changes that happened to the Pleasureway vans over the years. She's very close with the company and loves Pleasureways, as do I. You know, I've made that known in past videos. I had a Pleasureway myself. Get back on topic, George. So, Lisa has been planning this van, this custom build, for 15 years. And all of her wants, needs, and must-haves have been addressed. Up top, we have our own custom Humble Road roof rack and wind deflector. All aluminum, made in-house. We do our own custom 80/20 roof rack, and this year we decided to side skirt them so they look more like the third-party roof racks that everybody likes to have. The reason I don't like the third-party roof racks is twofold. First, they're too narrow, and I cannot get enough solar and air conditioner up on that roof. So I make a wider roof rack. Secondly, those third-party roof racks are heavier than what I can do with 80/20. And that's a real dangerous thing on top of the roof. Here is another 20-inch this time, single row LED security light on the back. And then the same thing on this side. We have a 10-inch right there. Coming down the side of the van, here is a 33-inch bunk window. This one is provided by Van Windows Direct. It's an awning window as opposed to a slider. I like awning. Down here again is our other running board on the driver's side. Now these driver's running boards are produced longer than they normally would be. Your approach angle brings you in this way, and we extend that running board further to the rear so you don't bang your shin on that corner. The approach angle has you coming in this way, and that nasty corner, that shin banging corner, is out of your way. We got your back. Down here is the pigtail for the Webasto. Whoops. Pigtail for the Webasto. Over here is our gray tank hose exit. What would you call it? I don't know. You figure it out in post. And down this end, shore power. It's a smart plug. Stainless cover. It's the other one we install. Right here on the end of the peninsula, which is done in white glossy laminate, we have a 120 volt outlet, we have a handle, and we have a switch pad. The handle is for a fuse block right there, full access, and we have access through the back behind the sink if we need it to run any more wires. Down here we have a pair of L-track strips with rings and hooks for Lisa to use at her discretion. On this side, because Lisa did not want a swivel seat, we put a little doggy bin, leashes, magnets. A couple of simple little magnets help you find your way with that lid. Here, we put in a dog gate. Lisa's going to be traveling with a dog and a cat. So we installed this dog gate, but it will also hold in a cat. Don't tell the cat. As we come inside, there's a grab handle here for Lisa to come up in the van. Up front here, we have our twin bed on the port side. It is 25 or 27 by 73. We have a lagoon table. It's got a teak edge band with a black lamb on it, and that can swing out of the way when it's time for bed. Did I mention this little doggy box down here? Right? I think that's cute. Anyway, back to this bed. Stay focused, Georgie. Under the bed here, we have a storage area. Now, there's two ways to access this storage area. This is one way. It's massive. Lisa wanted a nice big area that she could store stuff that she wants to move from one of her houses to the other. And if you notice, there's a huge 8-inch hole on that side. She's got a cat she travels with. So that cat can hop in around the back there, go into her kitty litter box, and do her business. So actually, this cabinet serves double duty. You see what I did there? Double duty, pun intended. Up here, we have a Bora, which is a Caframo fan, 3 speeds. Down here, we have our night light. I'll show you that in a minute. 120 volt outlet. This is our awning window, and we put a teak jamb around it with a shelf that has USB, USB-C down at either end. And this is a nice deep shelf. You could put your phone, your water, all that jazz in there, iPad. And we have the same thing on the other end. This switch takes care of a strip light all the way down under this garment tray. You see that? And then down the end here, we took advantage of the space we had and put in another cubby. This one looks like it should have a solid gold chalice in it. I'm ready to serve communion, Father. There's a bullet spot there, and there's 2 bullet spots in that one. That's part of our mood light series we have here. Up here, we have a garment tray. Rather than doing a wall cabinet, which would have closed off the view, the openness of this camper, I decided to go with a garment tray instead. It's got an ABS base. There's your strip light. Lisa can find bins that fit in here, or she can fold stack her clothing in there. I think that's going to work quite well for her. And now look at this air conditioner. This air conditioner is floating. What we did here is we recessed the air conditioner as far up to the chassis ceiling as we could go, instead of mounting it down on our van ceiling. And basically, look at the room we saved, the headroom. See, that's only about 1 inch, 3/4 of an inch protruding down. If we didn't do that, then this control unit would be sitting on this ceiling. It would have been down, maybe not in Lisa's way, but still it would have been an encumbrance in the sight line. So what did we do? Look at the jamb going around the perimeter of that air conditioner. We put in a Cobb LED strip light, and that's tied into our hall lights. Let me turn these on and off. I'll show you what we got going on. There's your hall lights. I got the shower light on back there too. There's a lot of different options for setting up this van lighting-wise, depending on the mood, the time of evening. Where was I? I'm still on this side. Teak feature wall. That's on the side of the refrigerator. This is our EcoFlow control panel. Very nice control panel. Very, very comprehensive. Very easy to understand. It's not like the Victron Serbo GX. Yes, Serbo GX has gone through some interface upgrades, but it still looks like Windows to me, and this is more like a Mac. All right, enough said. This is the IsoTemp Cruise 190 fridge freezer. Massive. Lisa does a lot of food work for the people she travels with. That's a big freezer and a big fridge. So Lisa's in charge of all the food. And to that end, We gave Lisa a big pantry right there, slide out pantry. Originally, the design I had was all these shelves were fixed over there, and it was this wall that slid out. Now, this is not your typical pantry. A typical pantry, you would be at the galley, you'd have a handle here, and you would pull the pantry out and take what you want from the shelves. We did something a little different. The shelves stay put, and you just open the door on the side. So now you can take things from the pantry and put them right on the counter. Now, obviously, we aren't finished. We have to put a shelf here, and we made use of another little cubby up there. And this is going to, again, soft close. This is going to hide behind that little avocado shelf. So this is going to pass right behind the avocado shelf. You won't see this hack here. Lisa emailed me the next day and said, George, that's very clever. I don't like it. I'd rather have a regular pantry. So we reworked it and we gave her a regular pantry. Let the van speak to you. Back there, there's a jog where the ceiling meets the wall. Okay? So you don't make your pantry end here. You take advantage of the rest of the space and you do the job of notching it. That's workmanship. We also added another pantry down here in the base cabinet. Now this one's unique because the pantry is these two shelves, but look at the face. The drawer face of that pantry comes all the way down to cover access to your water pump, some of your hot and cold shutoff valves for water. I've got another panel right here. Now, let me step back and show you this. You see this galley? Only the panels with handles are drawers. The rest of these are just panels that can be removed. Let me show you how they work. Let me get this lagoon out of the way, push it over for nighttime. So if I open this drawer, now did you see how easy it was to open that drawer? There are no hard clasps. There's no clicks, nothing. When the engine is off, these are soft close, Blum, just like you have in your house, because the only time they're locked is when you're driving. I have electromagnets on all these drawers, so they're only locked when you're driving. That's when they need to be locked. Now you can open them like a gentleman. Here's a panel. You see how easy that popped off? And that will give me access to what's going on in there. I've got stuff I need to look at in there. Click, we're back in business. I've got another one of those panels down here. Let me see if I can get that open with one hand. Ugh. Let me see. Come up here. Come on. Holy mackerel. Does it get any harder? Oh, man. There we go. Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to hit you in the face like that. All right, let me get this out. With two hands, it's very easy, believe me. All right, let me get back over here. All right, so you see now this panel just popped out and it reveals a lot of our plumbing. This is our glycol reservoir for making hot water. So this glycol goes down to a heat exchanger under the van, picks up hot water from the engine glycol and brings it back through the water heater, which is behind this plywood panel. Then it returns it to the reservoir to start again. I've done a couple of videos on that. This is the cartridge filter for our Activa system. Here's the UV light box for the Activa. So we're getting filtered, healthy water that you can drink and cook with. Like I said, this whole panel can come out if need be to get to that water heater. And here we have a bunch of isolation valves. Every zone of water in the van can be isolated, shut off. So if there's a failure, you can shut off that zone and go on your way till you can get it fixed. Now let me show you this panel I popped off with my superhuman strength. This is 3-section panel. Okay, again, no drawers, but look, we've got saw curse. We've got the spacing in there as if it was a drawer. You see this? See that spline? That goes all the way through to make these 3 individuals one that we can pull in and out. Now, let me put this back. Excuse your camera flying over there. Okay, so now look at this. The galley is clean and uniform. All these kerf lines are all lined up, but only the ones with handles are drawers. These are just panels, but we put the kerf in to give you that nice clean look going all the way down. Look at these pantry panels. That's inset teak inside that gap. That's a 1/2-inch gap all the way around. And that teak stays in the cabinet. It's just a nice look, right? We pick it up right here. Right here. These are just little details, little design details. Solid teak, handmade drawer handles, slider handles. I'm a big proponent of sliding doors on the wall cabinets in the van. So the galley here, you can see this galley. The workstation's quite nice. You got a nice large stainless steel sink with a funky faucet that Lisa found to use. Click, click. And this thing displays temperature. See that? Displays the temperature there, battery powered. This is interesting. This is our fresh water fill. We've been putting our fresh water fill on the outside of this peninsula. We put them in the back sometimes. I always want to keep them inside the van. But when they're mounted on a vertical wall for a hose, back in the old days, everyone would fill their fresh water tank with a hose. Well, I've come to learn my clients don't do that. Most of the time, they're filling their fresh water onboard tank with jug water from the supermarket. 1 gallon, 3 gallon, 5, whatever it may be. So I put the fresh water here in the galley. If we were to make a mess, it's up on the counter. You just wipe it into the sink. So you can use a hose and you can use a funnel and pour it in. This unscrews. It's got a nice gasket. It's got a chain. You can't lose it. This is from the boating world. So you put a nice big funnel in there. You can pour your water in if that's your preference. If you like to use a hose, you can use a hose. Moving further down the galley, this is a little control center. Black gauge, gray water, 25 gallons. White gauge, fresh water, 37 gallons. Water pump with a red light. Why is there a red light? Because if you think you have it off and you're ready to go to bed, that red light will show up in the dark and you'll say, oh, I left the water pump on. Let me turn it off. These are all touch. It's fun, right? So the work side of this galley, nice big prep area. This is Wilson Art. It's a solid surface. It's lightweight. It's quote unquote flexible. So in a van situation, you're not going with granite or marble, which is brittle and will crack. Quartz will also crack. Corian, Wilson Art. Those are the products to use for solid surface. And they've got a selection of, 1,500 different styles. So you got your wall cabinet here. Under there, you've got a shelf in here with UBS. I think that's a bank. USB, USB-C. And then this deeper cubby is built and scaled for mason jars. Lisa puts a lot of her food stuff in mason jars, so they're going to fit right in there, and you just lift them by the jar lid. 120 volt here. You've got another 120 volt down this end of the galley, and then I'm going to show you these light switches when we go outside. Those are all security. What else do I have to talk about? Oh, let's take a look at EcoFlow. This is one of my favorite parts of the build, is the electrical system. I could get excited over that. I had to move the pillow. We developed this hinge system to come up just as far offset as the mattress is thick. That way the mattress has somewhere to go when you open this up. So here is that big storage box I talked about earlier with the kitty litter. Behind there, we've got 2 batteries. They're 5,000 kilowatts each, and there's a third battery under here. So this van's got a total of 15 kilowatts, 48 volt power. Oh, I forgot to mention this air conditioner, which is a Houghton, is a 48 volt air conditioner, DC. It has a heat pump. So this is a beautiful piece of equipment. You can use this to heat or cool this van. It'll heat it when you get down to about 35 degrees. Then you got to turn on your Webasto. Your Webasto fuel-fired heater is right there. I've got a vent here in the galley hallway. There's another vent in the shower because I want Lisa to be nice and cozy in the shower. So it's going to be warm back here. Here's my nightlight. Isn't that cool? That's a red nightlight. I have to show you what that looks like with the lights out. Hold on. It's not that hard to do. All right. Got to take the shower light off too. Yeah, there's your night light. Now you can leave that on all night. Your eyes will adjust. If you have to get up to use the bathroom, you can leave that on all night. Shower light is very bright. See that? That's your shower. We'll get back there later. I'm all over the place. This van is so small, but I'm moving around like I was showing you the White House. 15 kilowatts on the capacity. EcoFlow Power Kit 1, which I think is the one to get for van life. Gen 2 is for bigger campers like Class A's. Breaker for the air conditioner. This is a shore power double pole breaker. This is your first line of defense if you don't use a surge protector out on a camp post. These fuses are for your Webasto. All of your fuses and breakers for EcoFlow are in here. They're labeled. This cover comes right off. And God forbid you have to ever open it up to throw a breaker or swap out a fuse. Shouldn't happen, but it does. Stuff breaks, and I can get at it. I've designed this whole cradle. All this stuff is mounted to an 80-20 cradle that if I just loosen a few bolts, the whole thing can slide out. This is another panel. Get open. Get open. Ah. These magnets. You need 2 hands for these magnets. Anyway, you can see that. The entire panel it's splined into the 80-20 channel, magneted on top. Ventilation. I matched the night light with ventilation grills right here. See them both there? Ventilation for my EcoFlow system is very important. There's more ventilation. The whole back is open, right? Not to worry. It's open all the way under the fridge. But I want to make sure I have plenty of ventilation. I don't need anything going wrong. What else? Did I talk about this garment tray? I think I did. I hope I did. Coming this way, fridge. This is the Isotherm Cruise 195. This is a beast of a fridge freezer. It's AC/DC, but I do not connect the AC side. There's no need to, not with 15,000 kilowatts of DC power. It runs on DC all the time. I've got 500 watts of solar on the roof. I've got 70 amps of charging when you drive, and of course 30 amps of shore power. Moving further back into the shower. The shower has a beautiful teak armoire on the port side. There's 2 very deep drawers down here. Clothing. I electromagneted. This one goes in front of the wheel well. So instead of just notching out and giving you this drawer, we still built around it and above it, give you a little jewelry tray. or for your wallet. And both those drawers are locked with electromagnets. And then here we have a lighted armoire clothing closet. Huge. This is big. And I did a video on this. I'll pull it up and show it to you. Let the van speak to you. The van chassis is here, and then it goes like this. So we made use of that, go like this. It gives us more room to put a clothing hanger. If we didn't go like this clothing hanger would have to be out this far into the shower box. No good. So we made use of that space. Tuck that armoire back as far as we can get it. And now I'm going to show you that the light does in fact go out when you close the door. It's like the refrigerator. How do you know that light goes out? This is your shower light. Here's your heater. Here's our beautiful teak shower pan boardwalk mat. Teak and PVC, all made on the CNC. And we use a Trolino toilet. This is the 17-inch large, tall Trolino. Showers on this side. And what we do with this curtain is kind of cool. We bring this over to cover the back doors. And obviously it covers half of the armoire. This side comes around. Now you can take this Trolino out for your shower. So now these curtains are covering what needs to be covered. So you've got a pretty big shower here. Now I got my back against the armoire. This is a nice big shower, especially with you can leave the toilet in or out, but that shelf is a good place to keep your soaps and shampoos and cream rinse. It is over the shower pan. The wheel well's right there, and we've got a ramp of PVC that goes down, directs the water. If there were a leak up in here, it directs the water down into the shower pan. The shower pan has two drains, one on this side forward, one on this side in the rear. The reason for that is no matter which way the van is angled for showering, you're going to drain the water. I left this open so I could show you what we do here. These shower fixtures, see, we cut a hole and we make a plate that we mount the shower fixtures to. Why do we do that? Well, we're using machine screws and T-nut threaded nutserts. I can get at these fittings. If we spring a leak somewhere, just remove the 4 screws and I can fix these fittings or maybe do an annual inspection. When we get this all set the way we want it, we put a little bead of silicone around it, we put it in place, screw it down, and we're good to go. But we've got access. We left ourselves access. Now this guy, you just throw a magnet up there. I didn't want to put a shower bar across here. It would have lowered your sight lines. What's the point of raising that air conditioner if we're going to have a shower bar that you hit your head on? So we come right across, we drop that on a magnet, and you're covered all the way around. When you're done, you just bring it all the way around on the track. It lives back here. Now, to be fair, I didn't get a chance to iron this shower curtain, and I didn't get a chance to cut it to fit. It's too long as you see it. So I'll fix that before Friday when Lisa comes pick up the van. Out the back, you've got your van windows, but look what we did. Because you have an armoire on this side and a shower wall on this side, there's no sense in leaving the glass exposed so that from outside you see the back of your shower wall. So we only cut our window holes into our ABS panels where you can see from the hallway. Isn't that cool? Doesn't that look slick? It looks really nice from outside because you don't see the backside of the armoire, which is teak, or the white shower wall. Pretty cool. All right. Oh, the fan here. No more Max Air fans. This is a Nomadic blah, blah, blah. There's a company in China that's making this fan, and you can spec it a couple of different ways. So there's 3 or 4 U.S. distributors that have latched onto this fan. They all put their own name and logo on it, but it's the same fan, no matter which company you buy it from, for the most part. So I'm going with this over the Max Air. This has lights in it. It's got a remote. It's got 10 speeds. It's quiet. It's brushless. It's got a power lid. It's got a manual override. So all is good. It's a much more elegant fan. And in terms of elegance and aesthetic, it kind of matches our Houghton air conditioners, which I am a big fan of. They're quiet. And then they have the heat pump. Now, right now, it's toasty warm in here because we are operating on the Webasto. It's not on at the moment because the thermostat is telling us that it's warm enough. Back outside, the first switch is this light. That's on this side. It's a flood spot. Then I have, where's my critters? There's my critter. Let me turn them all on and we'll walk around the van. I put some strip lighting in my Humble Road running board so that when Lisa comes back to the van at night, she can see where she's getting into step, right? You can't miss. And then, of course, I've got critter lights under the van. See that? The van's lit underneath. If she's in the desert, no critters. Look at that back there. That's my rear spot. It's like an ambulance, right? What's going on here? It's a Steven Spielberg movie. Here's this side. So she's got these flood spots are more spotty than they are floody, I have to say. And I'm a lighting proponent, but nonetheless, it's going to allow Lisa to poke her eyes out one of the windows to get a look at what's going on outside at night. Very cool. Yeah, we tried these running board lights. This is the first. Lisa's van is the first time I had this thought. I did put a night light under the Maxi-Me. Vicky's Maxi-Me has a night light under here, which worked out quite well. But I decided, here, let's go. Let's go all the way and light those running boards. Isn't that cool? So, of course, that's a new feature for Humble Road vans. Anybody that has my running boards, if you want that light kit, just give me a call. We'll put it in. That's the way it goes. So again, a van that I am super proud of, very excited to deliver to Lisa because I know she's going to love it. She's excited to come pick it up. She's going to hightail it over to Colorado as soon as she gets here, which I don't like. I'd rather you stay here for a few days, live in it, get acclimated to the systems. But that hasn't happened yet. I think maybe once or twice. But anyway, this is it.